okay at the back there, right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hi, welcome to the Norfolk Broads. Just hang on a minute, I'll come outside where I can see you all a little bit better. Ah, that's better. I can see you all now. Can you all see me?
Yes.
Oh, that's good. My family and the Broads goes back a long time. It goes back to the year of 1927 when my grandpa Greenwood hired a boat from Oulton Broad for the week. But after 3 days, him and his crew were back home because the boat had completely blown up and totally destroyed by fire. He actually wrote a book on it. It makes good reading. We hope never to ever come across a situation like this again. I've been visiting the Broads now since I was 4 months old, back in the year of 1959. I've always found the area of tranquil waterways a magnificent attraction. If you're into boats, then this is definitely the place for you. It's always been a very exciting place to look forward to, an enjoyable adventure and an extremely sad time when we have to leave. So please stay tuned on this Facebook channel and see some of these magnificent places that we're about to visit. We start this film from Coltishall. Coltishall is a riverside village sometimes referred to as the gateway to the Broads, as it marks the start of the navigable portion of the River Bure. The mooring stave is some way out of the village itself, and it captivates visitors with its picturesque setting, riverside pubs, a grassy field, and is overlooked by fine properties. The thatched village church of St John is within walking distance of the stave. Grandpa's book tells us of a crew of 8 that set sail from Oulton Broad on the 9th of July 1927, heading for the Northern Rivers. But this holiday of disaster started to go wrong when he navigated to the wrong side of the deep water buoys on Braden Water, and was stuck for the first night until help arrived on the next high tide the morning after. Due to the increase in water levels of the Broads over the years, it is now necessary for a Wroxham bridge pilot to come aboard to take the craft through. As can be seen here, this can be a tedious task even for the most experienced navigators.
Fantastic. Right, you'll see me very shortly. Well, you might have seen me make a mess up. Right, so you Hotel Wroxham or Kingsmead? Yeah, no worries. Okay, I'll be with you shortly. Cheers, bye.
"1,000 years ago, this isolated spot on the river was a thriving monastery dominating the area. Today, the Norfolk Archaeological Trust owns St Benet's Abbey. These are the remains of what was a major establishment of the 9th century. The book tells us after they finally got afloat the morning afterwards, they sailed back into the River Waveney and moored by the riverside, where the crew went for a short walk. One crew member notices a large amount of smoke rising from the area where they were moored on the river. They hurried back, only to find the boat totally engulfed by flames. This sealed the fate of their boat, named the Ormond, and also the end of their disastrous holiday afloat. Ranworth has always been a popular place for Broad's users to visit. The moorings are equipped with water supply and electric hookup for the boaters. There's also a selection of small shops and an excellent pub, the Maltsters. St Helen's Church stands watch over the quaint village of Ranworth. The tower is almost 100 feet tall and accessed by a very narrow winding stone staircase. Since this staircase to the tower was closed on our visit, we had to resort to our drone to see the views from overhead. Ranworth Church was once richly furnished by wool merchants, who painted stories from the Bible on the walls. But sadly, much of the treasures were destroyed during the Reformation. Grandpa Greenwood's book goes on to tell us that many people came to the rescue when the boat was in flames. One couple who lived in the nearby village of Blowfield taken the crew back to their house. Since all their possessions, including clothes, were all totally destroyed by fire, the couple opened their wardrobe and told the crew to take any clothes they wanted on a non-returnable basis. Grandpa christens this lady as the Queen of the Broads. How Hill is a hamlet on the River Ant. How Hill House, completed in 1903, was designed by Thomas Boardman, son of the architect Edward Boardman. He was the Mayor of Norwich 1905 to 1906. Since 1984, the house has been the home of How Hill Trust, an educational charity. Once a piece of rough grazing marsh, these beautiful gardens were established by the original owner of How Hill House, Edward Thomas Boardman, in 1904. The secret garden has a series of interconnecting ponds and channels and is surrounded by exotic plants and shrubs which were once common in the Norfolk Broads. Womack Dyke leads off the River Fern and winds its way for just under a mile to Womack Water and Womack Stave. The village of Ludham, with its pubs and shops, is just a short walk away. The church in the centre of Ludham is dedicated to St Catherine and dates to the 14th century. It contains a wonderful screen dated 1493, one of the finest in England. It is with a feeling of sadness that we board our boat for the last time before returning to our boatyard at Potterham. Needless to say, Grandpa Greenwood never returned to the Broads. Nowadays, all hire cruisers are fully insured for losses and damages, but back in 1927 this was clearly not the case. And after making headlines in local papers both here and at home, a legal case lasting nearly 3 years, the boat's owners finally accepted that the craft had an oil leak which was ignited by a cooker being not properly switched off. But we've had a wonderful time here and hope that this short film has shown you just a few of the many ports of call on the Norfolk roads. If you like these short films, then why not subscribe to this channel? There are more to come. Many thanks for viewing.